couple of weeks since the last video, so almost the end of August, and you can tell by the gate behind me where I am. I'm actually at the new allotment, which is where I've probably spent the majority of my waking life for the last couple of weeks. So let's go in and I'll show you what we've been up to. Okay, you can see we've had a little bit of a transformation of the shed. It's been painted. Really needs to have another coat, but it's one of those things that will probably never get done. We've got a little box in front with some French lavender in, and what's really exciting actually is, I don't know if you can make out, let's see, I'm going to walk forward so the sun doesn't glare in your eyes. Up there we've got a little solar panel. So, I know it seems quite ridiculous, but it means that we've got solar lights. They're not very bright, but I tell you, when it starts to get dark later on, they really come into their own. So yeah, we've got two lights, and at the moment we're down here usually till about 8:30, 8:45 at night, and we're turning the lights on then. But in the winter it's going to be dark in here about what, 3:30, 4 o'clock, so they might come in really handy if we're down in the winter. We've had starting to move stuff from the old shed, gradually filling up the shelves with seed tins and pots and pans and the kettle obviously, and I cleaned the windows up a bit. A nice table, a £7 bargain table. The only problem with it was we took it apart to get it in the car, and then I actually put it back together the wrong way round, which you wouldn't think you could do with 4 legs and a tabletop, but it did. Anyway, it's been rescued now, so that is actually a really, really nice spot to sit and have your cup of tea. So, the shed is ongoing, but getting there. Little step, this little step now. Look at my shoes, dear me. Also, managed to scrape a lot of grass. Where are we? There's the shed. Because I was going to lay flags here, but actually this sort of crazy paving affair was all underneath, and I actually quite like it. It's got engineering bricks at the end there, and just, I don't know, someone's made that for a purpose at some point. Not quite sure what the purpose was, but yeah, I quite like it. That's going to stay. And one of the brilliant things as well, we've got a tap. So I'm going to swing you around and show you how we're getting on with other things. Okay, to be honest, I should have looked at the video the other day to see how much we'd done so I could compare, but I know I showed you the grapevines last time. Oh, you see, you're going to get the sun in your eyes now. Let's have a look. Look at this. Look, can you believe? It's treasure. It's absolute treasure. Look at these. I mean, it's about 7 o'clock now, so that's the evening sunlight, and we can just come along. My goodness, they're gorgeous. They're warm because they're in the evening sun. They have got pips, but absolutely delicious. And I feel like we've cheated. Well, we have cheated. They're not ours. We didn't plant them. Done nothing to them apart from water them now and then. And they've given us all these grapes, which is fantastic. Anyway, let's go through. This greenhouse, didn't know what to do with it. So basically, this is, actually I'm saying it's rickety. It's sturdy, but it's rusty and bent, and I don't like it. So this is coming out. I thought that the floor was concrete because it's so hard, but it's actually really, really, really parched earth, which I was sweeping it and wondered why I couldn't get rid of the dust. I was just sweeping soil. Anyway, so this is going to have the staging from my other greenhouse, and this staging here was on top of here, but is now, this was only very narrow, only came to about there. So now it's a much more sensible width to have. So yeah, that's a job we've got on, is flagging the floor in here. So, and people say, why do you bother flagging it? I mean, if there was an easier way to be able to keep it clean, yeah, that would be great. But I know from my old greenhouse, the soil will go everywhere, and if we don't keep sweeping it up, you know, you won't be able to see the floor. or rather you won't be able to see the parched earth. I'm giddy, I'm going on. Right, okay, here we go. And this is possibly the major change. So I was talking about this last time, or rather the time before when we had a look around, but actually what we've got now are our beds. We've got, I'll start you on this side. Oh, just stood on something. This bit, this is all going to be bark chippings. A couple of roses are going in there. We've been offered an allotment neighbour is getting rid of his rose trees, so we're going to have a couple in there. And this is going to be a seating area, so we can actually see the allotment from where we're sitting. And then, yeah, we've got strawberries and weeds. We've got, in fact, might be better off doing it this way. This side, I can't remember what's going in there. Oh, raspberries are all going to go in there. This is like being on a ship. I have a tayberry and or a blackberry there. So basically this line will be the berries. This line we have got early, middle and late fruiting blueberries. So they've been, the soil's been enriched with ericaceous compost. And what's nice about having the beds, the separate beds, is we can do what we like to each load of soil and make it suit the crop that much more. And then this one, what's this one going to have? Oh yeah, gooseberries and blackcurrants. And that leaves us with 4 beds at the top to play around with. So I may have said this last time, you know, the top 2 certainly will be interchangeable, so each year we can have different things in. One might be salad crops. One, I really want to do chickpeas next year, so we're going to have one with a line of chickpeas. And then it's just given us the scope to be able to do things. We've only had enough bark chippings to get to here at the moment, but you can see what we're doing. We're gradually moving the membrane along until we get to our central avenue, which is currently bare earth. So you can see from, if I turn around, la, 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 la. There, does that give you a better view? Yeah, of the strips. So the fruit strips, and then you're turning again. Here we go. Avenue. Mike's legs. Avenue the other way. And I think actually we're going to have an apple tree there and a corresponding one there from the old allotment. And then these are our 4 beds that are taking shape this very evening. We've been waiting to rotivate the soil, but even after a few days of rain, it's still not soft enough. So we've managed to break up the surface enough to get some paths in. And we are going to have a path up. And then at the top we'll have a path that way, and then one on the other side of the tree, leading up to the wild area. And if you look very closely, you can see on the russet tree that we've had to actually, so many apples, we've had to prop it up. But can you see our little friend again from our, well, you can see Mike, friend from the old allotment. He's up there. And I feel like, you know that Paul Young song, Wherever I Lay My Hat? It might have been done by someone else, but I remember it by him. It's a bit like wherever I plant my bird, it's my home. So there he is. There's my little bird. So yeah, we've done, Mike's done a brilliant job with these, again, just old Victorian tiles that were around the plot. He's made a lovely little border to go around the russet, and is currently doing one again out of the old Victorian bits. Oh, look, there's Tiddles. Hello, little fella. We're doing a corresponding one. So again, you've got this lovely walkway going round. Now I'm aware this russet tree needs a really good prune. And once it's fruited this year, I'm going to take some advice and prune it really well. It's never going to get too big because that's its lid. I don't want it to be bigger than him. So, but yeah, we're going to look after it and bring it back to a better point next year. But yeah, okay, and then we go round here, and this I think is all pretty much the same. We've got, whoa, she says I was driven over something. We've actually cut down the wisteria at home, not cut down, but we've given it a really good chop today. So rather than just put this in the brown bin, this is coming up, and when we do rotivate, that is all going to get chopped up and mixed in with the soil. just to sort of condition it a little bit really. And the same goes for the ridiculous amount of windfall apples that have fallen off that great big tree. It's a huge amount. So yeah, they're not going to go to waste. They're going to get raked over and chopped up into the soil. Again, sort of, I don't know, make the most of it. So I think it's a long journey that we're on, and I'm aware that nights are drawing in, but I think if I turn around here, not too much has changed at the top here, apart from it's been cleared up quite a bit. Well, let me just show you. Look, there's not many of them on here. Again, these haven't been looked after, so they're not being... Oh! Well, they were ripe. I lost them. I've lost my plums. Anyway, well, yeah, well, the plums I was going to show you have just committed harikiri. And I'm probably going to stand in one now. I was going to show you, look, there's one. There's one. Beautiful. Now, don't you look, that won't come off, will it now? Typical. Typical. Right, okay, no, that one's not going to come off anyway. But yeah, we've got a few plums on there, and we've actually got some lovely, I'm not at the best angle, am I? Some lovely pears coming on the pear tree, which is such a treat. And again, we didn't plant these. These are a bonus. These are, oh, hello. Hello. These, as well as this little gorgeous girl. You? Hello. Yes, hello. So any of these things are just beautiful. Plans for the future up here. We are going to have a bench going across here with a table. There's a lovely old door that's just been dumped on one of the allotments down the road, which I think we can put on some, I don't know, some legs basically, so that we can sit here in the evening when it's past death by apple season and look down at the allotment, because it's this evening light that is beautiful. Oh, oh, oh dear. Hello. Hello. My goodness. I'm so allergic. But she's beautiful. She is very lovely. Anyway, I hope you can see me. I'm not used to sitting here. Obviously, it's a completely different shed. This is the shed at the top of the new plot, which at the moment is just storage, because there's been so much to do, moving things to and fro. The amount of things we've taken to the tip, I don't know. And then we recycle most of the stuff we find. So anyway, yes, I'm outside a different shed, and you can possibly tell now from the bit at the beginning of the video that I have really come to terms. I don't know if to put those on or not. There's no good because I can't see anything. Sort of come to terms with the fact that this is going to be my new allotment. There are going to be times that I might regret it, and we've got until October until both sets of rent get paid. So I don't have to make a final decision until then, but I think in here I had to be able to detach myself from the other place really. And what was hard about going around last week was I still love it. It's still 5 minutes walk from the house. It's beautiful and we've done such a lot to it, but we have outgrown it, and I think it's just one of those things when a chance like this comes along and we can't say no. We've thought about keeping both on. Where's she gone? I'm suspicious. Oh, she's on. We've thought about keeping both on, but it's just not going to work, and it wouldn't be fair. There are people who are on the waiting list. It would not be fair to have this huge slice of land that we're so fortunate to have and so grateful for, and other people still be struggling, you know. And I don't know if I mentioned last time, there's a family have one of these allotments, and they haven't got a back garden. They've got a backyard, but they've got no space really, and they use this as their garden. You know, they're 5-10 minutes walk away, and they've been here every minute of the summer and have absolutely loved it. And I I've got to be honest, while the weather's been good, we've been here most of the time as well, apart from when it gets too hot. We're going to really miss these long evenings, because this has been our getting out and doing thing time has been sort of between 4, 5 o'clock in the evening till about 9, 10 o'clock. And now the evenings are drawing in a bit, I think we're going to miss coming down, you know, but then the weather will get cooler. I'll be able to come down in the day a bit more. But yeah, so in all but writing it down, I've made the decision to simply put the other plot, which is sad in some ways, but it's very positive in other ways, because as I say, someone else will benefit, and hopefully it's given them it'll give them a good start. But yeah, I mean, even earlier on today I went down and I love my shed, and I've got memories. Mike and the girls made the shed, friends came and helped us put up the greenhouse. You've got these daft memories attached to it, and you think, actually, if we thought like that, we'd never ever do anything else. You know, everything has got something attached to it, but they're all in here. But yeah, actually it's got to the stage where now I'm thinking, actually, that would be really nice at the new allotment. We could make good use of it. Like the staging in the greenhouse, I've been wondering about recycling the staging we've got in. I thought, actually, I've got perfectly good staging down there. Why is it staying down there? I'm going to bring it up. So yeah, I've made the decision, and I'm so pleased. Don't like transition, don't like change, but yeah, now the decision's been made, I can sort of relax into it really. And so yeah. So future plans will be all based on what's going on right here. I spoke to you last time about, and a bit this time, about how the bottom half is going to be mainly fruit, so mainly bushes and things that aren't going to be dug up and put back every year. Perennials, I suppose. Bushes, shrubs. Anyway, so the bottom half will be allowed to sort of get on its own, and then these full quarters around the russet will be our crop rotation. We did have a whole thing about getting a rotavator, because we've got a lovely allotment neighbour who's very, very much into no-dig and loves the idea of raised beds, etc, etc. And we have had to say to her, you know, yeah, we do as well, but actually this soil, you've seen it, it's so parched at the moment. We need to be able to break up the top before we do anything else at all. So basically, by a strange fluke of luck, which we don't usually have, Mike went into a particular DIY store looking for a spade. Not sure why, because we've got countless. And came home with a rotavator which had been wrongly priced. Instead of £160, it was priced at £50. Now, I don't know what was going on there, but they admitted that yes, it should have been £160, and there had been a huge error, but had to honour the £50. We've got a rotavator, even though we went through the whole heartfelt thing of we don't want to damage the soil structure of everything. It was a bargain, so we've got it. But what we're going to do, we're only going to be using those on the top 4 rotational plots, and so when it is, the ground is workable enough to rotivate, we'll chop up the top bit. But as we go, we're going to be, well, for example, all these windfall apples, these are all going to get chopped and put over the plots. As I say about the wisteria cuttings, anything that we can put to improve the soil structure. Because one thing we have noticed when we have been able to dig is there's not many worms, and to me that is the sign of poor soil, really. You know, you can pour as much fertiliser and whatever on the top, but if you haven't got your soil structure there, I might be talking off my hat here, out my hat, off my hat, with my hat. You know, it's not really a healthy soil. So yes, so we're going to try and aerate the soil a bit, and then we're talking about this year maybe 3 of the beds, but maybe 3, maybe 4 of the beds we're going to try field beans. So if not field beans, some sort of green manure that next spring we can dig in and hopefully just start enriching the soil bit by bit. The thing is, there is so much, you've seen it, there is so much soil to enrich that we've got to be careful not to go and spend a small fortune. So, but it's so exciting now. We've ordered garlic. I asked on the Facebook page if anyone had any recommendations, and what was actually really interesting was people had grown from stuff they bought in the supermarket. People had gone to good old Wilko's, and I know you can get 2 bulbs for £2 of, I think, Germador and Casablanca, or 3 bulbs in one variety. So the Wilko's varieties that they'd kept from the year before, all sorts of different things, and have had good crops or decent crops from them. So by asking them all and getting all this advice, it actually, oh, honestly, I'm so fickle. I actually got an email from the garlic, is it the garlic farm? One in the Isle of Wight anyway, saying it's time to order your garlic now. So I did. So I've ordered from them, and we've got some quite unusual varieties. We have spent more than we really meant to, but I am determined, because our garlic was pants this year, I'm determined that we're going to get a good crop next year, including elephant garlic. Missed out on that this year because the rotten mice ate it in the shed, if you remember. So I'm determined to get that this year. Oh, the sun's just going down. It's just, I'm probably all squinty-eyed like this, I've got the sun in my eyes, but it's just beautiful. Right, so, what do you think, Tiddles? I don't know if you can see. She just follows us everywhere. Really sweet. Yeah, so that's basically what we've been up to. Busy, 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 but really so enjoyable. Really so enjoyable. Seeing it come together now is just brilliant. I wish I had a drone. I wish I had a drone so we could look at it from above and just see, you know, how the layout is taking shape. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that there. That's probably another ridiculously long, waffly video that has amazingly, for an allotment video, had no gardening in it whatsoever, which seems to be the case at the moment. I realised the last few videos, I do honestly, if you're a new subscriber, I do actually do garden. you might have to look quite a way back. Oh, I've sat on something odd. You might have to look back quite some way to see if we actually do any, because this blooming year, it's been such a weird year. And I'll just quickly say, we had such a late spring because it was such a long winter, it was late, it was wet, so everything went in late, and then we had this blast of a summer, so everything that had gone in late suddenly went bolted or just went to pot, really. So yeah, that's been weird as well, and of course getting this place and not being able to concentrate on the other place and not going out until after the stroke of 4 in the afternoon has impacted on the gardening, but I promise I will get back to it. I have got things to put in, so I will do. I'd like to say thank you so much to Nigel, Muddybootz. He gave me a shout out on his channel the other day. Do I need to tell you who he is? I'm sure you don't need to know. I'll put a link to his channel underneath. He's a proper gardener. Does proper gardening stuff. He's brilliant. And he wore one of the t-shirts that Mike's designed on his video and gave a shout out. And so with that, my subscriber count went up. And I always say, it doesn't matter, it's not about the numbers. But I've got to say, when it topped over 2,000, I was really quite excited. I felt like, oh, it was a really nice milestone to have. And it's down to Nigel, because he gave me a shout out, so thank you so much, Nigel. And also, it meant that we sold a few more t-shirts, so go and have a look, see what you think about the t-shirts. I'll put links to everything below, but thank you again, Nigel. Thanks to everybody for supporting us. It's been such wonderful, supportive comments about this place. I'm going to shut up in a minute. I keep thinking of extra things. My daughter said to me before though, she said, yeah, but Mum, she said, what are you going to call this place? Because Jane's allotment was the old allotment. So what are you going to say about this? And it really stumped me, actually. I don't know. Am I still Jane's allotment? I'm still Jane. It's still my allotment. Or actually it's Mike's, but you know, I don't know. What do you think I should do? Let me know. I think I should probably stick with Jane's allotment, but Tiddle's allotment? Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Okay, this probably hasn't filmed because I've got a habit of not switching the camera on, but yeah, that's where we're at. Loads more stuff to tell you, but you've got a life, and you know, know, you've got to get on with it. And I've got to go home. The sun is dipping now. It must be about 8 o'clock. So I'm playing with twigs. Okay, right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the videos. It absolutely means the world to me and to my, all your support. So yeah, thanks again from one very happy allotment team. See you soon.